Okay, hello everyone. I am Sophia, an animation senior.
I'm Rye, also an animation senior.
Yes, we will present to you our Zenith project, which was like an animation for like the intro of our cartoon show, but with our own world building project and our characters from the world building project that we did in English. So if you're a junior, look forward to that next year. So a little bit of context about our world building project. Our project is called Ink, Sun, Nettle, and Knives, and each word represents one of our four main characters. And it's set in like a fantasy world where people do magic. So Ink represents our main character Tala, and she does magic with like sigils and like symbols and stuff like that. Sun represents our character Sword, which does magic through music, and our character Ren is represented by a nettle because they can shapeshift and they do like
Potions.
Yeah, alchemy magic.
Like mixing plants and stuff.
Yeah. And lastly, our character Lazarus is represented with the word knives because he's a very like untrustworthy character. Yes.
Step one. First thing we had to do was pre-production. For this, we did a lot of initial explorations, just like brainstorming, figuring out what we wanted to do. And we also did a lot of studies of other cartoon intros from shows we like or stuff that Sophia found. And then we had to find a song, which was painful, and storyboarding, and then we revisited our designs and found a style of these.
Yes.
The first thing we did was got out sheets of paper and sat down for a period and drew our characters. The first thing that came out of that was a college AU, which we did nothing with. Then Sophia had the idea of doing a 20-second animation that was like more polished, where all of our characters would just jump out and like do their form of magic. But I wanted to do something a little bit more narrative driven, and so we had the idea of doing a cartoon like it.
Yeah. So I'll just go over some examples of what we did. I think we were both very much inspired by, if you look on the left, that is an animation from an indie animator on YouTube. And she did like a very similar animation about like two characters, fork and knife, and it's like as if it were like a real animation TV show, but it's just like a standalone animation. And we were also very much inspired by like these two actual animations, and we were like doing like looking at examples, we were kind of like listing out their characteristics. So the biggest thing about an intro animation is that it has to hype up the audience for the TV show, because it comes right before the episode, every episode, and it has to give like the vibe of the show, and it has to show the characters and the world building as well. And another characteristic that some of the intros have is that they show like the names of the characters to really like get the first time viewers to be like, oh, okay, so this is this character, you know. And also it has to be like fast paced, and it has to have that energy. So that was like, we needed to choose a song that was energetic enough, but not like crazy. And that's exactly what we did. So we chose a song called Bad Set of Moods by the band Solo. And if you're thinking, I have never heard of that band before, that is on purpose. We did not want to deal with copyright. So we looked like on YouTube, and thankfully, thanks to like the gods above or something, Solo has like 30 subscribers on YouTube and this wonderful song. So thank you, we love you. And then after that, I started to storyboard the animation on just like a sheet of paper in my notebook, which is something that is kind of uncommon because you usually start with a very organized storyboard, but I just like brain dumped ideas. And I basically was thinking about what animation we could put for each lyric, and then I brought it to Rye, and we started working out and fleshing out the storyboard more, and then we did an actual proper storyboard, and it takes, oh my god, storyboards are so mentally taxing, but they're the foundation of an animation. And we also did like a little bit of a sketch to figure out where how our main character's tent would be laid out. But we didn't like do that much with backgrounds.
The very last thing we had to do before we could actually start production was revisiting our designs. As you can see on the left, that was the design we used for our original presentation when we were doing our world building project. It needed some work. Lazarus is a little bit beige mom. He's the one all the way on the left. So we gave him a pirate makeover. And it fits him much better. It fits his character a lot better. We mostly changed the colors. Tala, the one next to Lazarus, this is her thing. Yes. This is Tala. She got purple. And this is Sol, and she got a lot more yellow. We also changed the style of her dress a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this was also, we wanted to have a much more cohesive animation because we've done every single freestyle group project together. In the words of you, we are best friend business partners. But our past animations, we kind of split up the work and then push it all together in the end, and it doesn't look super cohesive. So we found this style that both of us can draw pretty easily, and we try to stick to that.
Step 2, the meat of the project, production. So the workflow for animation is basically you first start off with what are called keyframes, and that's basically like planning the actions and like movements of the scene without actually drawing the full movements. So basically what you do is you do the keyframes for everything, and then you come back in and you do all the in-betweens to actually have the movements be movementy. And then after that you go over them and do all the lines, like the line art, the colors, to make it all more polished. So this was our first step, keyframing. As you can see, it's just like, I have very few frames, and it's just like a quick description of what the actions will be. And what we did after this is we made a rough animatic just with the keyframes, so at least we could show something just in case we didn't finish everything. And it also helped a lot with like figuring out timing, and that's actually something you do in the animation industry as well. And I'll just show it real quick. So that was our first. That was basically our rough, kind of like first phase of it. Then we came back and did the in-betweens, which is the most grueling part of animation because there's so much stuff you gotta draw. I don't know if you can see how much freaking layers there are on this thing, but just the in-betweens for me, took me 11 hours, and that was like over 1 week. So that was very intense for both of us. And then after that, I'll pass it to Rye.
We did lines and color. We did something a little bit different for this. For several reasons. We actually both liked each other's sketches. For one, just burnout reasons. We were really tired. This took like a lot of our time. And working on each other's drawings and something new that we haven't been working on for a bunch of hours already was really refreshing. And then the main reason was it just meshed our styles together and it made the whole thing a lot more cohesive.
And then finally, post-production. So me and Rye actually used the advanced learning project in digital media to learn post-production for animation. And basically that just consists of like color adjustments or like certain effects to make it look a little bit more cinematic. And you actually, something I learned is that you actually want to imitate film a little bit with like cameras and stuff. So maybe film is really cool too. Anyway, and we also did like some lighting effects and some final touches of like really cool effects that RyeD did really well. So first of all was our color adjustments. We just like basically this is like the before. This is the after. As you can see, the character looks like much more inside of the scene, and the colors just don't contrast a lot and don't look like too weird together.
Next thing was lighting. I did this for my advanced learning project. Quick technical explanation, I guess. I added a bunch of like plain solid layers with blend modes for like the basic lighting. And then I basically just duplicated that on top and put a radio this thing with the radius or center point like right here, and that created this sort of light streaming in through the tent door effect, which is cool. And then also for lighting here, you can see there's like the cast shadow. We added this in with just like a mask in After Effects, and it created a much more like in the background and not just pasted on top of it feel.
Yeah.
And then some more like finishing touches. We wanted to have the sigil that's from the very beginning sort of drawn out in magical sparkly light. So we used an animated path in After Effects and then an overlay blend mode and another radio blur and just like keyframed the mask and stuff like that.
And then finally, just for the title screen, because that's also the most important part of an intro animation, we just used some masks to kind of like give it a bit of a more professional look. And we also added the names of the characters and like added some opacity and size keyframes to make it like pop out at you. And this is our final product. Woo. So now for our reflection.
This was a huge project. We learned so much. I think the biggest thing was how to organize it all. In the very beginning, it was a lot, so much. I think laying out all the steps and really like following our storyboard and setting our own deadlines made this actually possible to complete on time. It was still definitely a time crunch at the end, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Also learning how to work actually together and collaborate on every single step, because like every single thing in this animation is something we both worked on, which I think is really cool. So if we could do this again, definitely we would study some more intro animations. We really wanted to include more of the world building aspects of our project in here, but a lot of that we didn't really think about it enough in the storyboarding process, and it was kind of too late to change.
Yeah. And I also wanted to add more like dynamic camera movements, and also something that I actually realized after completing the project is that in animation, like something that's really important is like the idea of foreground, midground, background, right? To create depth. And I just kind of like did not think about that at all, and it kind of made everything look a little bit too flat. And like I would have liked if it like to make it look more professional, it would have required more of that kind of perspective thinking. But yeah, that's something I think I need to develop more in my own art skills. Yeah. Woo!
So don't worry so much about time because there's two of you at this point.
That was so impressive. Wow, that could be, and the song was perfect too. I'm so like beautiful. My question was, But this might be like, because I don't know anything about animation. So you did like you said the timing part in Photoshop?
Yeah, so kind of, because like we use After Effects. Like basically the way our workflow is like we do one scene, one shot in Photoshop. And then we like put all of our scenes and shots together in After Effects. We only use After Effects because it's just like a place where we can do that. Right? So yeah, we use both things.
Where did you do it? Did you do the drawings on Photoshop? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, that's impressive.
It's really annoying, and there's I think Adobe Animate is like a good software for animation, but like I didn't really want to learn a new software.
I have a really important question.
Yes,
What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
my favorite ice cream flavor.
I like chocolate chips.
Oh my god, identity crisis. I'm gonna pick mango for now.
Oh, fire.
What else are you gonna do to continue with are you gonna do anything else with these characters with this world?
They're definitely characters that will be living in the brain for the rest of my life, so probably.
Yeah.
But we don't have any like concrete plans yet.
Yes, all the way in the back, people.
What are all their powers and who's the strongest?
Okay. Yes, I love that question.
Good question.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, Kala can do magic with sigils. So basically, she's part of the sigil tribe in our world, and they basically like draw a sigil and then like stuff have like to preserve food or like make things and stuff like that. Or yeah, and then Soda just like has a bunch of musical instruments with her and like everywhere, and it's like she sings a song or something, and then like magic happens, like plants grow and stuff. Ren can shapeshift. And this guy uses knives. Yes. And I think the strongest one is
I don't think any of them are they would lose in a combat situation.
yeah, they're not very combat-y.
Lazarus, I guess, would be the strongest combat wise.
Yeah. He's kind of
But yeah.
Yes. Other person. Right. Yes, you.
I was wondering like how much input you had into each character. Is it like a mix, or is there one that's like you were making?
I made this. I made this. Yeah, that's Rye's baby. I don't know. I think I kind of like came up with the idea, but actually we did this project with a DT Biz was. So actually, we all collaborated for that. Yeah. Yes, Natalie.
If you have like infinite time and infinite resources and infinite people to work on this with you, like what do you think you would do?
Differently. Just make it look a lot more professional and like real. I mean, like ideally, like I would have done just like an actual episode or something like that.
So what would be an example story? What would be an example story in in one episode?
Oh, I mean, I think it's very like adventure-y. It would be like an adventure show where they like go on their adventure and this. I don't want to explain the whole world building story, but like they're doing stuff and like doing magic.
Trying to stop the evil sickness curse.
Yeah. Oh, and it would be a lot more like focused on their friendship because their bond is what kind of drives the story forward. Also, Natalie.
You mentioned a couple of like things that inspired you for this. Is there any TV show that inspired you during your world building process for this?
I think for Tala's magic and like the whole sigil magic, definitely the Owl House, because Liz uses like sigil kind of stuff
Yeah.
for magic.
For real. I was inspired by a graphic novel, so not really an animation.
What's a skill you guys learned while animating that you think you'll use a lot in your future animation?
I think like I don't know if this counts as well animating, but all of the post-production stuff we learned in After Effects, I had never we had done like basic just kind of figure it out as much as you can stuff in After Effects, but we actually like learned new skills for like lighting.
Yeah, your lighting tutorial. She made a tutorial on that lighting. It is amazing. It's really well done. If you get a chance to watch it, really well done.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, I think just like, I just practiced a lot and I think I grew through that. I think that's kind of what I learned, other than the lighting stuff.
You said that like you found the music and had like 3 subscribers. First of all, how did you even find that? And second of all, I want to know what graphic novel you're talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about the graphic novel 5 Worlds, which all of you should read, and it's amazing.
I don't know. That song has just been
Whoa. Okay.
that song has just been in my playlists for like as long as I can remember. And we were looking through our Spotify trying to find a song that would fit, and we played it, and we were like, ooh, that could work.
Yeah.
So.
How long did like this whole project take for the both of you? Like how many hours?
I mean, last week was pretty bad. So yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's kind of just like once I'm too tired to do any of my other homework, I just sit down at my computer and I get out my little tablet and I do line art until I have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think I could put a number of hours on it.
Yeah, I mean, like last weekend, I just sat down for 4 hours straight and just did that. And then I did the same thing the next day, and it's just kind of been like that. And I think I'm losing my mind. But anyway, a lot of time. Animation takes a lot of time, so please appreciate us animators, because we're doing our best.
And we do.
That's what.
Do you think you're gonna be like professional animator in the future?
Actually,
The industry sucks.
yeah, the industry. And also, I visited an animation program, the San Jose State animation program, and it's like crazy. I don't know, it's like, it even feels like like one of those like training video movies, like training montage, but like intense, but for art. No, I don't want to do that. It needs you business.
What was your favorite part of the process?
Post-production.
Yeah, I think my favorite part, I don't know, I like working with RyeD a lot, and I like pre-production a lot. Oh, I loved it. When we were trying to decide the color palettes for the characters, we were just working on the same tablet, and it was so fun. It's just so fun doing the same drawing together.
That was really fun. Yeah. I think all of the brainstorming stuff at the beginning was really fun because it was just kind of hanging out and doing something we liked together.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it was really satisfying to see everything come together and all of our payoff. It was like, whoa, we actually made something. Wow.
Fantastic work.